Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
So we were requested to talk about jealousy this morning.
Yes.
So we love that you request things for us to go into. And it was funny because when Kelley said that someone had asked for that, I was like, ooh, I don't know what I would say about that. But immediately this little thing popped up on my phone with a scripture. And I was like, that is actually about jealousy. I know I have a lot of real life drama, and most women do.
Yes,
I think jealousy is a huge thing.
It is,
for us.
especially between women for some reason.
I'm jealous that you can wear headbands and look cute. I had one on the other day, and my friend was like, "You need to take that off."
And I'm jealous that she looked like amazing the whole trip after 24 hours.
I'm jealous that
and
she always
still
has
looked that way.
on-point eyelashes.
Well, that's because I glue them on very, very well.
And you're always bubbly.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm bubbly?
Yes.
You are.
Wow. Okay, well, thanks. I've never been accused of being bubbly, let me tell
Well,
you.
you are.
Well,
My
you know,
husband that.
it can be little things that we're jealous of, and then it can be huge things.
Yeah.
I know that going through this divorce and affairs and things like that, it's been very, very hard for me because I deal with, I am not enough. What does this girl have that I don't have? And I really beat myself up for months about, well, it's because she's skinnier than me, or she was prettier than me, or maybe she was a better mom than me. And I compare even success in business and even houses and cars. And there's a lot of things that we can be jealous about.
There is. And jealousy is also comparison. I heard you say all that stuff you said. We compare ourselves to different things and different issues, which shouldn't be. So.
Yeah. Even her kids are this, or her kids are that, and my kids are not that.
Well, as moms too, I think we have that like pressure where you're supposed to be this superwoman mom, and so that whole jealousy and comparison thing, you know, well, your kids eat at 1, 3, and 5, which those aren't the right hours, but my kids are on this schedule. You know what I mean? So jealousy there. Yeah.
Well, and you know, as I was praying about this over the last few months, I kept saying, what is wrong with me? Why am I not enough? And finally one day God said, stop saying that. I am enough.
Good.
And the scripture that he gave me, it says, Jesus answered him, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and most important commandment. So just breaking that down, if we love God with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind, there's no room for anything else.
That's right.
If all of your heart is consumed with loving God, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it says, so that's the greatest and most important commandment. Not thou shalt be holy. It's just love God. The second greatest commandment, love your neighbor as you love yourself. All of Moses' teachings and the prophets depend on these two commandments. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
But to love your neighbor as you love yourself, who do you have to love?
Yourself.
Yourself.
Yeah, you've got to start with yourself. That's so true. I was thinking about, in relation to that, you know, growing up and being a singer, and I would always get kind of jealous. You guys that know me, sorry, but I'd get jealous of different people in different positions, and Mom would always say, keep your heart right. And I'm realizing as you're speaking right now that I didn't love myself enough to even keep my heart right in those moments. And so, you know, in life, jealousy can come in different ways, but I was thinking I was superior maybe to different people in that time frame, and in doing that, instead of humbling myself and loving like God has called me to love, and which is, first of all, I've got to love myself. So I hope that makes sense. I went on a bunny trail there, but yeah.
It does make sense because in this, relating that to my life, you know, when I was saying, oh, well, maybe it's because she's skinnier than me or she's prettier than me, the problem was not her.
Absolutely.
The problem was me.
Yeah.
Well, like when you said you needed to humble yourself, there were many years that I lived my life thinking, I am so humble. Like,
I'm humble.
I am so humble. And I know how to hold my tongue, and, you know, I'm just, wow, God. Like, I am just amazed at what you've done it with me because I lived in chaos.
Yes.
My life was so chaotic. Everyone around me was just hateful. To the point put myself up here a little bit. I was like, God, thank you so much that you have humbled me. Thank you so much that I don't act like her. Thank you so much that I don't do this. And then one day God was just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Yep.
Yeah.
Putting yourself up on a pedestal.
Yeah.
You are no better than anyone else.
Yeah.
I love them just as much as I love you.
That's right.
My love is a blanket. It
Yeah.
never changes. There
Yeah.
are not levels. There is no thing that you can ever do that I will love you more or love you less.
So good.
Shut up and be still and let me work in you.
Good. That's good.
He's told me that exact same thing. You know, he said,
It was rough.
this person over here, I love them the same as you. And I was like, but God,
But
don't
look
you
what
know?
they did.
Don't
Look
you know what they did to me?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he related that to my children.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they got in this punching fight, because I have 4 boys, and so they were all beating each other up. And you know, Jaden threw the first punch, and Traven's on the floor screaming. And God said, "Do you love Jaden any less?"
Mm.
And I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna punish him for a second,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and I'm gonna correct his heart, but I don't love him any less."
Yeah. Yeah. Jealousy too has to do. I was thinking about this. How we have a jealous God.
Mhm.
And usually when you're jealous in our lives, it's because we think we're above someone,
Yeah.
above approach. But God's the only one, guys, that can be, he's the only one that's above all of us. And so he has the right to be jealous. He has the right to be jealous. I'm going to read this because I thought it was so good. It's in Exodus 20. Talks about how there's no other God above him. He has the right to be jealous. And so that's why with us, there is that good jealousy, you know, so far as what God has for us. But then with us, we don't have the right because we're not above anybody. And that's why it's so important in Proverbs 4:23. It says, guard your hearts above all else, for it determines the course of our life. So if our heart and our life is full of jealousy and rage, which jealousy really is anger and depression combined together, if it's full of that, then that's what's going to flow out of us. And so we just have to be so careful, I feel like, in our lives to check ourselves. You know, this morning I put a question on Facebook, heart check. Heart check. You know what I mean? Who do you value more, God, others, or yourself?
Yeah. Even this morning, God said to me, where your mind thinks, that's where your heart will follow.
Yeah.
So if we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people, that is us always putting ourselves like, we deserve more than they do. We deserve more, God. Why aren't you doing for me? Me.
Yeah.
And if we just did a heart check daily, I mean, literally moment to moment, your heart
5 minutes
checking
ago.
in every situation to stay level with God. And it doesn't mean that we're going to be perfect or that we will ever be what we hoped that we would be, but we will be something better because we will be what God has called us to be when we're doing that heart check constantly.
Yeah.
We're live. Go over there,
So,
please.
children here, because we're moms.
It's real life.
They're
It's
all my
good.
kids every single time.
It's all good. We're in her house, so you know.
Oh dear.
My kids will be in front of the screen talking to you right now.
Well, maybe we should do that sometime. You never know from the heart of a child. You know.
We'll have to take turns in each other's houses to
Yes.
get the vibe of everybody's house and what it's like.
Well, and this right here is like the only clean spot in the house today, so that's why we're up against the same wall.
Mine wouldn't be my kids because I only have a younger one, a 7-year-old, but mine would be my dog, like just scratching at my legs, mom.
Awesome.
Yes.
So what's our challenge today, guys? What do y'all think?
I think that they should tell us what they've been struggling with as far as jealousy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, what are you jealous of?
Yeah.
If you don't want to admit it, you don't have to, obviously, but we would love to know and what we can pray for you specifically about.
Yes, absolutely.
And I want to just personally challenge you to love your children no matter what, obviously. To just take time to breathe throughout the day.
Yeah.
Take time to just check your heart, check your mind, check where you are at, so you are not doing any more damage in your little circle than that needs to be done. Because I always have to check myself because I have 2 teenagers. And I have a young one, and I have a husband in the military, so we travel a lot. And I get caught up in the anxiety of it. So I just want to challenge you also to just do that moment-to-moment heart check, as Genora said. God told her this morning to heart check.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
We just love you guys so
We
much.
do.
We are so thankful that God has brought us together in such
Yeah.
a short period of time. I
Yes.
mean, what are we on now? Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
So,
I
This is
think,
maybe
I
a
don't know.
month of a relationship
Yeah.
growing, and
Yeah.
I just feel like I've known these ladies my whole life.
It's been amazing.
and we
So-
really do pray over you
Yes,
guys,
we
and
do.
we do answer every message that we get.
Yes,
Yes.
we did.
So feel free to reach out to us. That is why we are doing this.
Yep, it's not about us. It's just about God speaking whatever He wants to speak and changing whose lives that He can, because He loves you so much.
Absolutely, y'all. Love the hearts. Thank you.
Who's watching? Hi, Mindy. I love you so much. It's
All
my
right,
friend
y'all.
from California.
And as Kelley would say, give us some love.
Yes, give us some love. Okay,
Bye, guys.
bye guys.
Bye.